goes live and he fucking gets $1 million, he don't have to worry about taking care of his whole entire family. Because everybody else has college degrees. They all got their cars. Yeah, he might look out a little bit, get his little sister this, get his little mom that, might pay the house, the mansion off completely. But that's not like starting 6 people from ground zero, getting them all out of poverty. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it comes down to right there, like that differentiation, you know, about wealth and family wealth. But it's hard for a lot of guys to really turn up, man. Like, you know, they got a lot of obstacles and hurdles, spikes in the road, stopping them from becoming the best that they could be on any platform, being black. Do you disagree?
I agree.
Right.
I agree with you.
So yeah, man, you know, our bridges are different, man. I just try to enlighten you on the differences because sometimes people are naive and they say black men can take a lot more.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, now, yeah, you were phasing out.
No, I was saying that, you know, a lot of people say that black men could take a lot more, you know, beatings, a lot more everything, a lot more turmoil, and you know what I'm saying? I just want you to understand where it's coming from.
Well, you used to live in Emerson Street. Now you got where you're now you're at where you're at. Right?
Yeah, those comes with sacrifices. And a lot of people that I was flexing with at the time really wasn't listening to get to the transition point. A lot of people are really stationary. They're happy where they're at. You know, they're considered content in their row house, on a block, casual shootings every day. Kids can't ride up and down a bicycle with a bike. You know how they carry it.
Yeah, I know. Somebody was shot in the courtyard of my building a few years ago.
You know, at the end of the day, a lot of people say they want to rent, just like Kevin Samuels. Like, he was a financial, successful black man. He was a stylist. He had over 100 million viewers every day on his channel.
I know. I used to watch his stuff. He would talk to them women, and he'd talk about, oh, you just want to search for these high value men, and you have such high standards that you bring them up to the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he died not that long ago. Yeah, I used to listen to him, some of the interviews he would be on.
Thing is, like, his funeral was really low budget. Nobody was there to send him off. Instead of like the Million Man March, when a bunch of black men jumped on the buses to go to the funeral to, you know, praise a black man who was really teaching the facts, exposing the shits, to having those conversations that nobody really wanted to talk about. And he actually jumped on board and elaborated and told everybody how it was and how it's supposed to be. And a lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of people say, hey, yeah, it did fix my marriage.
Right. Yeah, I was listening to him. He was talking to these girls that were on OnlyFans, and they were talking about how much money they were making. He's like, okay, what are you going to do when that runs out? And the girls were like indignant. Like, they never even considered the possibility.
They never had an idea. They didn't even look forward that far forward.
Exactly. So what are you going to do, work this out? Why? And like they got mad, like, because he was telling them the truth. Yeah, okay, you got all this beauty, you got people who want to pay for your pictures and all these things. What are you going to do 10 years from now? And they didn't like that question because it was a question. It's one of them questions where the truth hurts.
Truth always hurt. Nobody don't want to know the truth. Nobody don't want to talk about the truth. You got politicians right now that ignore the truth every day. You know? They have meetings every day with corporate corporate meetings where people sit around a round table to discuss how can it improve business functions within the entity. Somebody witty within the table will elaborate and tell them how, with their hard work, how you can make business more efficient here, and they'll just totally ignore it. Because you know why? They're listening, but they're not listening. They don't want to.
Let me recommend a book to you. This book came out last week. It's called The Mafia Democracy. Okay? It was written by a former capital regime in the Colombo crime family. The book came out last week. I bought the Kindle version. And basically it talks about how our government is acting like a modern-day mafia. You should look into it.
I mean, well, it's obvious, right? I will look into the book, though. But it is obvious, though. It's almost like a dictatorship. They're forcing us to do this. They're forcing us to do that. You get this vaccine, you get that vaccine. And then you need the booster shot. You need 3 booster shots to make the original 2 vaccines work. And now we have the monkeypox. Monkeypox
Yeah,
is
I was watching a video on that.
Monkeypox is here. And now, guess what? You're going to have to get the vaccine for monkeypox. Huh?
The monkeypox seems scarier than the COVID.
I mean, there's big circles on your face. It's big wingworm circles on your face that's they pigmented. They leave like you've been burnt. Look like 4th degree burns all over your body in a wingworm shape. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at it. My daughter, she couldn't even watch it.
But the thing is, they portrayed the image of the black people getting it first. They showed a lot of black people with it. I didn't see the white people with it yet. I see the black people with the monkeypox. So they're trying to trick all the 20% of the country, because you know it's 365 million people, but it's only 20% of black people. But they are targeting that 20% to run out and get this vaccination for the monkeypox immediately.
Right. I mean,
just like
I heard
chickenpox.
there were some cases in the U.S. I don't know how many. I haven't looked at CDC numbers, but I would say when something transmits, it's not too interested in the call. When a disease itself transmits, it's not too interested in who it infects, so long as it infects somebody. Here's a topic for you. I should have sent you this. I read this. You hear about the 13-year-old in where was it, in Wisconsin, that got charged with sexual assault because he refused to use a proper pronoun. 13-year-old kid. Sexual
assault because he didn't use a pronoun in reference to a person, in regards to a person.
Yeah, like, you know, how people got their pronouns. Well, it was a 13-year-old. He didn't use the pronouns, and they're charged with sexual harassment.
Okay, so what was the person that he misaddressed? What were they? Trans?
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So he's supposed to be an expert at what there are the titles for these different sexualities now. How old is the kid?
13.
There's no way in the world. I'm 40 years old. I still don't know LGBTQ community. I know those letters, but I don't know the extra stuff that comes with it. And when you approach me, LGBTQ, I still don't know how to diagnose you until you properly introduce yourself. So if I'm referring to you and say, hey, yo, the trans guy over there, and that's the only way I know to describe you. So if I'm being reprimanded for that, then okay, whatever. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Because I don't know how to I'm 13. I don't know how to properly introduce what you are, what bathroom you go in. I'm not in your business. So what happened? What happened? He addressed go ahead.
So the student said however they want to be addressed. So 2 kids refused to. They said, no, I don't have to say that. the person, the transgender person, started screaming and hollering at the two in a classroom, mind you. Then a student jumps in and says, "Hey, if they don't want to say it, they don't want to say it. I'm gonna hold up a second. Just hang on 1 minute, because I don't want to misrepresent the article."
Right. Yeah. Fact check. What's your source?
Give me 1 second.
So much shit going on in the country right now. I just
sent it to you. I mean, I don't know if you got it yet, but I just sent it.
What?
Just when you got the time,
Oh yeah.
Text it.
Middle schoolers accused of sexual harassment for not using preferred pronouns, parents say. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless this student is walking around with their preferred pronouns on their shirt, there's no way to properly address a person. Okay? Period. So they lost that. Save your money in court, folks.
Well, apparently the students said what they wanted to be addressed, and the other students, being 13, probably didn't have the conceptualization of something other than female or male. Like, I think that's more what it was.
See, a lot of confusion is because there are a lack of brothers like Kevin Samuels out here. He clarified a lot of shit. He made sure people understood exactly what marriage was, what family was, what a healthy relationship was, what you should teach your children. And he actually styled grown men to show, hey, that's not what you want to wear. You look better like this. Pause. Without the homo shit involved, you know. And I big up to that because they don't make old heads like that no more. But what by me saying that is, if that young person would have been, you know, indulged in type of a Kevin Samuels or had a type of a Kevin Samuels in his life, that wouldn't have happened. We have to address things what they are, and whatever he called the young man out of his name, there probably wasn't no reason to talk to that person anyway. But kids will be kids, you know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, well, society seems to be in a crazy phase right now.
Society is in a crazy, crazy, crazy stage right now. I'm not even keeping up with the tunes. I deleted Instagram recently. I haven't been scrolling. They got this thing called death scrolling where you just scroll, and you don't even know you're scrolling, and you never have any dreams about any of the shit you're looking at. But you just see a bunch of bad news and it ruins your vibe, and a bunch of little thotties showing their body, and it's just like, he's jumping.
Well, I'm not really on social media. I mean, I got a Facebook account that I just put memes on, but other than that, I'm not really a Twitter person.
Right.
Because it's just more of the same.
It's more of the same, and I'm out of the matrix now, being as though I'm not a part of regular society. I'm not a part of your regular corner poppy stores and shit like that no more. I'm in a totally different mind zone. You know, I'm thinking of bigger shit. You know, I'm looking for a godmother for my daughter right now. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit. Like, I don't want no bibs, no dresses. I want you just to be here to help her grow up and teach her moral support and how to be a lady. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for godmother tendencies and a beautiful, healthy relationship, because they say it take a village to raise a daughter. So I got a lot of land right now, and I'm in the process of, you know, recruiting and building and farming.
Just find somebody of good virtue.
What's that?
I mean, if I was in that situation, I would just find somebody of good virtue.
Yeah. Good virtue, whatever. I don't want every watch. I want the good watch. I want the best watch. And I don't want every woman. I want a good woman. I want the best woman. You feel me?
You don't want the cookie when everybody already had a bite.
Nah, I don't even need to. I see you quoting them bars.
I'm just quoting your own lyrics.
I hear you quoting them bars, boy. Yeah. I don't want the cookie if everybody had a bite. No, I don't. You know, that's average. You know, my wifey, she from Maine. Ain't no way in the world none of them dirty niggas in Philly touched her. Or New York, or Maryland, or any of the West Coast dudes. So
Did you say she was from Maine?
she's from Maine. I'm a
Wow.
truck driver, man. I went up and I got her and I brought her home. That's just what it is. Now, you want something different? Go get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. Cause there's a saying. There's an old saying that says, cockroaches don't like to go far from the nest.
Nah, you want to stick around with in the hood. Your hood options are very small because the Muslim community in Upper Darby, South Philly, Southwest Philly, West Philly is very, very, very small. They all go to the same linen boutiques. They all go to the same places to get their eyelashes, and they also get nails done. And they're there talking, and most likely they're in a monogamous relationship. I mean, not monogamous, a polymistic relationship, a polygamous relationship where they have two husbands, or the gentleman has three wives. So it's rare you will get your own girl in Philadelphia, especially if she's Muslim. You know, you have to travel abroad.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. My friend, he just came. He just went to Morocco to meet his future wife.
Yeah, I hope he
brought me back. He brought me back his Moroccan clothes, and he wants me to go to Morocco at the end of the year.
And he should have stayed. He should have took his savings and bought some land there and stayed. You know, the best thing a person can do is get a foreign passport, set up shop, buy some land. See, people don't know what land is. When they say buy land, I was young at one time. I was like, what the fuck land? What am I do with land? I'm gonna do with all this fucking land. What am I make a farm? What am I build a house? It take material to build a house. I don't got material. I don't know how to build a house. What am I do with fucking land? I used to think
land's the original money. Land was the money.
Exactly. See, people don't know that though. See, land, when you got land, acres or 2 acres of land, you know what the bank want to do? They want to give you equity on your land. Your land is actually worth a lot more money than what you pay for it. You hold on to a piece of land for 2 to 5 years, and then you ask the bank, hey, what is this land worth today? They might say 60 to 75, maybe $100,000 more than what the time you purchased that land for $300. Do you understand what I'm saying? People buy land. I don't care if it's a forest. I don't care if it's 1 acre. Buy it. Because guess what? You can take equity out of that land and you can turn it into something else. They'll give you 80%.
My wife and I are looking at land in Ohio where it's cheaper.
Yeah, they're going to give you, like, if you got a home, if you got a house, you got equity in your house. See, a lot of people are buying houses right now with the interest rates are 4.5%. We're talking about, end of May, June 2022. People are trying to buy a house and they can't because the interest rates are between 4 and 6%. Being as though if you would have purchased a house within the last 2 years, the interest rates were 2% because we were in the pandemic.
Right.
So it's a good time to save your money. Right now, it's not a good time to spend any money with the interest rates being 5%, between 4 and 6%. Save your money. Don't buy materials to build a house. If you can, the smartest thing you should do is survive off of what you have and put your savings and investments into a high yield interest savings account and don't touch it, and work off of what you have on a budget until this interest rate drops back down to 2%. Because you don't want to buy anything at 5%. You don't want to buy anything at 6%. I don't care what it is. Not a new car.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I think the reason raise, I could be wrong, but it's my understanding the reason they're raising interest rate is to fight inflation, because if money is more expensive to borrow, then that means there's less of it in circulation, which in theory is supposed to fight rising prices. Because when you have too much money in circulation, just think about all that money they gave out during the pandemic.
Right, but guess what? As long as gas is $4 plus a gallon, okay, that means the cost of everything goes up because trucks need gas. And in order to get those goods to all those DCs, those distribution centers, they need gas. And if they're $4 a gallon, that cost is incorporated on whatever's on that truck. So if it's apples and he's bringing 1 million apples, but it's costing him $4 a gallon in gas, and he got to drive 700 miles from the apple orchards up in Illinois to bring it to you. Those apples, which were $0.25 a piece, are now $3 a pound. Do you understand?
Well, apple better taste good and not have no worm.
It doesn't even matter because the cost of inflation, the cost of gas, made it so that the cost of your goods that's coming on that truck are going to cost more because it costs more to get it here. I don't care how much the shit was on the truck. It cost me money to get it to you.
Yeah, because now you're talking about nominal interest rates and real interest rates. Like, oh, okay, gee, your boss gives you a raise of 5%, but when inflation is up 7%, really, you took a pay cut of 2%.
Right. You took a pay cut.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. A lot of people don't know about this trucking shit. It's a lucrative industry to get into.
Hello?
You can't hear me? Yeah, it's a lucrative industry to get into, but you just got to stay focused. You got to stay humble and know exactly what you're getting into.
Oh.
No, I'm saying that the trucking industry is a lucrative industry. And if you get into it, just take a little bit of sacrifice, and you'll be rich forever.
Yeah, but don't you got to own the truck? Isn't that the deal?
I mean, that'll be the best deal. To lease a truck, it'd be stupid because you're paying a company $1,800 to $2,000 a month just to have that truck. Yeah, they're going to cover the maintenance, but if you got a brand new truck, there is no maintenance for the first 100, 200,000 miles. You know, of course.
So leasing your truck, you got to give them a cut.
Yeah, leasing a truck, they want a down payment. They don't want a cut of your loads, but they want $2,000 a month, period.
Yeah, that's called sharecropping, I believe.
For their truck, that's what they want. They want $2,000 a month. They want to see your CDL. They want to see your restrictions. They're going to do a background check, and they want to know what type of loads are you going to be able to get, and are you going to be able to make these $2,000 monthly payments? Because a normal truck driver makes about $8,000 a month. We're talking about $2,000 for the lease, $1,500 for the commercial insurance. We're talking about $500 in gas just to go 1,000 miles.
So now we're already up to $4,000 in expenses.
We're already up to $4,000 in expensive. Now we're not talking about what's actually on the load itself. But we're not getting paid by what's on the load. We're getting paid by the mile as a truck driver, you know. So you got to think it's 400 miles. It's 500 miles to get to Ohio. All right. A little bit more than 500 miles to get to Ohio. You're getting $4 a mile. All right. That's a $2,000 trip from Upper Darby to Ohio. All right. You got to.
Well, I think from here to Cleveland is about 375. Yeah, about 400 miles.
We're gonna say Ohio because it's more so like the middle of the country. When you go up towards the Great Lakes, up northern 90, you're right in the middle of the country. You know, you're north, but you're right in the middle of the country. right? So yeah, let's put it like that. It
Yeah,
takes
my
you.
wife is in Avon right now.
Yeah, it takes you about 600 miles to get to the middle of the country from where you're at right now. That's going to cost you, to get there and back 1,100 miles is going to cost you about $600 in gas. Now, the average truck driver would drive the turnpike and then go all the way up, which is very, 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 very expensive. I would
Yeah, but
enlighten.
that truck has more axles, right? So you're paying a higher
Right,
fucking toll, right?
right. But I am an experienced truck driver, so I go a different route, which either takes me right. I take 40 West, which takes me right through the middle of the country without any tolls, anything at all. It's just a smooth selling ride right through the middle of the country. Then you got to go up. Depends on where you go. You can go up or down, but you're right in the middle of the country on 40 West. This takes you 500 miles. That's $2,000 to get from Upper Darby to where you're at to Ohio. All right, 2,000 miles to get there. $2,000 you'll make to get there, and $2,000 to get back. So that's a $4,000 profit ride. Okay, you got to minus the $600 in gas. You got to minus the $1,500 in insurance, commercial insurance, and that's for the month though. That's not every time. That's just $1,500 in commercial insurance for the month. All right, and then you're counting wear and tear as far as oil is concerned. You're always going to need windshield wiper fluid. You're always going to need, your snacks and shit while you're living on the road. All right, cool.
You see that image I just sent you?
What's that?
I just sent you an image.
Image. Let me see here. Yeah. All right. Yeah. To Kelly.
That's where my wife is at. Where the red dot is.
Oh yeah, in Toledo, up there in Toledo.
Well, no, she ain't quite that far. She's more closer to Cleveland than to Toledo, but yeah.
Okay, my main route is through Columbus because if you look right there on 70 West, you got 40 West where she's up there at 90. She's on 90. 80 North turns into 90. All right, so she's up there in Cleveland. A little bit more south is where the bag is at towards Columbus. By the way, how's those storms up there? It's supposed to be some heavy shit happening right now.
Where at?
Up there in
Philly?
Cleveland, Toledo, up there by the Great Lakes.
Well, here I'll put it to you like this. You see how it was hot on the weekend and then it dropped?
Yeah.
Well, she sent me the 5 day and it went from 90 to 55 because her parents' house is literally one block away from Lake Erie, so they get that lake effect.
Oh yeah, well it's cool there. Like, you know what, that shit is deep as fuck, man. I think it's a dinosaur in that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I drove across that bridge. I said, God damn, it got to be a Loch Ness something swimming in that bitch. I ain't never driving over that bridge again. Fuck everything, dog. I mean, for the right bag. If I had to, shit, I would. But you gotta understand how we carrying it, man. As truck drivers, man, we do take risk. They just had a convoy going all the way from the middle of fucking California all the way to Washington, D.C. fighting for truckers' rights. And they're going against U.S. They're trying to say, without us, there would be no U.S. And they have people on
That's what Jimmy Hoffa used to say.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Hoffa, he said
right.
If the Teamsters go on strike, he shuts America down.
Yeah, and he's missing to this day. But see, you gotta understand that people that try to stand up and shut the country down get missing in action. So we don't want to talk too much about that. But the limitations that they do have on the truck driver as far as this COVID shit is out of control. We bring the shit to y'all. Without us, you wouldn't have no toilet paper to wipe your asses. So on some real shit, respect the truck drivers, and when you see us on anywhere, truck stops, salute us. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact.
Yeah, because they had that shit. Remember that shit crossing from Canada to the U.S.? The
Yeah,
truck drivers,
yeah.
they tied up the lanes.
Yeah, he couldn't get. That's the convoy I was talking about. Yeah, he got tired of being able to get stopped at U.S. because of their COVID vaccines not mandated and not up to date or some bullshit. That didn't apply. COVID, this shit didn't apply to us as truckers. Our companies did not make us get the shot. They offered it, but they did not make us get the shot. You know what I mean? A lot of owner operators is just like, fuck that. I'm just gonna buy my own truck anyway. So that's pretty much
Is
what
your
happened.
are you? Do you do the no? Do you do the no? I guess what's it? The no touch load.
I did no touch freight for a little while, but I also did touch freight, and touch freight is a lot of money. Like one time I touched freight, I made like $6,000. I drove the shit there, I unloaded it. It was all frozen, so I was in the freezer with my gloves and shit on, but I did unload it, and I think I made like $6,000 just by unloading the shit, and I was done for the week. So I had a great time with doing that. But I can't. That's something that I can't do every day. It's some guys that actually touch freight every day. They in the freezer every day breaking loads down. But those are the type of guys that retire real early.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, it's
And
just.
that seems like you could probably only take so many years of that shit.
I mean, the best bet, the trucker, once you get in the game, you get 2 years experience on the road with a trucker, with a company, and then hopefully you can branch off and do your own thing. And if you're good, you can have your own truck and you run your ass off for 5 years and then you retire. In that 5 year span, you can make over $3 million, and hopefully you'll use that money to buy another truck, hire some trucks to drive for you so those bands can keep coming in. But you'll still have those investments you made from when you first made that first 3 mil.
Yeah, the reason I've been somewhat quiet. Last Sunday, I got fucking perp walked out of K Laundromat.
You got what out of K Laundromat?
You see K Laundromat next to my house?
Yeah.
I got perp walked the fuck out of there.
What the fuck does perp walk mean?
Like putting cuffs inside the laundromat.
Oh,
Taking
wow. What you
taking
do?
the 69.
What you do?
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, actually. They had to fucking review the tapes. And then they fucking let me go.
Oh, what they expect you doing?
Well, no, because some fucking lady, she dropped her bank card. I picked it up, right? I stepped out of the place, and then I walked back in, and I tried giving it to her, and she tried to say I fucking stole it.
See, you can't even be good doing the right thing these days.
I just had to put down $1,500 for a retainer for a lawyer.
Man, that's bullshit. See, these days, doing the right thing will get you fucked up, man. I hate to see it, kids.
I know.
I hate to say it, but sticking around. All right, put it like this. If you go into a poppy store, you look around, you don't see nobody. The cashier is not there. The guy in the back is not making sandwiches. You look around, you on camera, but you don't see nobody. My best bet for you is to walk out the store as fast as possible. Somebody's probably in the back getting robbed. Somebody's dead on the floor, anything. And I'm not going back into the store until I find out one of them poppies is coming out to smoke a cigarette or something like that. And that's the smartest thing to do.
Listen, never go on an elevator if it's just you and a woman you don't know.
Oh, yeah, with a woman I don't know? Shit, bitch, go
never
first.
Get on the elevator.
You go first, ho. Because I'm not going to be, it's your word against mine. Especially I'm black. So at the end of the day, especially if it's a white woman, shit, I'm not getting on no elevators with nobody these days anyway. Besides, it's all about allegations, allegedly, who's doing these things? Like people in the wrong vicinity at the wrong time. And most likely you got something hitting up your sleeve and you're doing something you ain't got no business doing if you're caught up in one of these webs anyway.
Right. Well, look at this whole Johnny Depp, Amber Heard shit. What a fucking circus that is.
I thought that was a quit. That was an end today.
They're at the end. Amber Heard's lawyer wanted to question Johnny Depp again, but they didn't. They didn't because like Amber Heard, she's just fucking her shit up left and right.
I don't even know who the fuck Amber Heard is in real life, but I do know cocaine was involved. I do know cocaine was involved. That's all I know.
All right, so listen. I will make contact with you tomorrow. I gotta put my daughter to sleep, but she won't let me put her to sleep.
Facts.
I'll text you at this number.
All right, that's a bet. Hit me up, all right? Bet.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Y'all listen to my boy from the county, man. We be hollering over this Official Check Engine podcast. I want y'all to give him an applause. Also, I haven't been checking in a while because I've been trying to stay away from the effery. But, you can always like and subscribe, share the content. We're going to be on TikTok too, Official Check Engine. You know what I mean? So staying relevant and tap in with me if you got a question at officialcheckengine@gmail.com. It's your boy Raywoodz. I'm signing out.